What has changed is our country. The Constitution didn't change. It's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. What has changed is our country. When I was a child, you took for granted that you said a prayer in school, you said the pledge, you had nativity scenes in your town hall, in front of your courthouse. That's all gone. And part of it is because we didn't stand up. We have to stand up for everybody's freedom, even if it's something that doesn't affect us. Obama has awakened a sleeping giant by showing us what it really means to have so many of our freedoms taken away. That's not the America I grew up in, and many of you grew up in. But we have been getting here slowly by compromise. We've been doing that for 40, 50 years. But if you've got liberalism, socialism, fascism, communism, whatever you want to call it over here, and you've got liberty and freedom over here, we've done our compromising for 50 years toward the tyranny and the liberalism and the socialism. We're all about compromise, but you're going to compromise our way for a while. We are finally drawing the line in the sand, and we are saying no more. No more. We have given up liberty after liberty. Our children can't draw, some school districts around this country can't even draw pictures that depict biblical figures. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? It makes no sense. But that's where it has come to. Christmas symbols, if they're religious, we can't display them in many areas across this country. That's sad. That is sad. It's called Christmas because of the birth of Christ. Our Constitution, we talked about the First Amendment, as Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. It does not limit what we do. It limits what Congress can do, what the government can do. That's the way it works. It's not rocket science, but those folks don't understand it. Justice Samuel Chase, who also signed the Declaration of Independence, by the way, he wrote in the court's ruling, religion is of general and public concern, and on its support depend in great measure the peace and good order of government, the safety and happiness of the people. By our form of government, the Christian religion is the established religion, and all sects and denominations of Christianity are placed upon the same equal footing, and we are equally entitled to protection in religious liberty. That's a guy who signed the Declaration of Independence. Don't you think he probably knew just a little bit about it? Nothing is as important as electing conservative judges. They go to Raleigh, they go to Washington, and they don't hear from we the people, from us. They get there and all of these folks are there, and the liberals are always there. They're always telling them what they want. If they don't hear from us, they think that that's the voice of the people, many of them. Virginia Fox, God bless her, she's here every week, so she hears from us. But most of them in Washington don't. They don't go home every week. And so they don't hear from the people. And I've been in Washington, and I can tell you how it works. I have been there when an aide would come out and say to the legislator, we've got a big issue. We've really got to get on it. We need to talk about this. We're having a lot of phone calls on it. If they have 100 phone calls, they think the sky has fallen down. Literally. They think every phone call to D.C. represents 100 people. That's the way they calculate it. So 100 is the magic number. That wouldn't be that hard for us to pick up the phone. That's have to keep calling. And when they break their word to us, we take them out. We take them out. I don't care what's behind their name, if it's an R, if it's a D. We find good candidates to run against them in primaries and get rid of them. Many of them, if you hold them accountable, they pay attention. We only had to do that once. And now they listen when they know that the people are watching and they know you're going to hold them accountable and they know that you're not opposed to going in that district and exposing their record. They will listen. Every day I remember who I serve, and it's you, the people in District 31. I love it when I hear from you saying, way to go, stand firm on that issue. We have to be willing to step out, to take that step, to heal our land. It's up to each of us to do that. I never, ever wanted to run for public office. Not something I ever thought about. I loved helping other candidates. I loved working on the issues about our faith and our freedom, but I never wanted to serve in public office. And my senator retired, and everybody kept saying, you know, step up and take that job. We want you to fill that seat. And I said, well, I'll pray about it. Well, I prayed about it for days and days, and I just didn't get an answer. And I kept saying, Lord, I don't hear the soft whisper in the heart. Hit me with the 2x4. Tell me what you want me to do. Well, I still didn't get an answer. So late one night, I texted my county chairman and said, if you're up, call me. So he called me, and I said, I've prayed about it. I still don't have that passion. I still don't want to do this. I feel like God would give me a passion to do it if he wanted me to do it. So thank you for your trust, but I'm going to say no. Within a couple of minutes, my phone rang, and it was Congresswoman Virginia Fox, who most of you know. And she said, I know you've been praying about it, and I know you said no, but I've been praying about it, and I got a different answer. I said, Virginia, do you have a more direct line than I do? She said, I think I do. How can you say that all of these things have happened to put you in a position to just step in to do something that you would never, ever do, which would have been run for office? And so finally I said, okay, I'll do it. Lord, if it's not what you want me to do, just stop me. But if you can use me in any way, I am ready. So I stepped out, and then I've run twice, and I've won. So obviously, now I have no doubt I am doing every day exactly what God wants me to do. I see it every day. As reluctant as I was to do that, we have to be willing to leave the comfort of our tent and remember that God didn't part the seas until the Israelites put their feet in the water. And he is omnipotent. He can send angels to do anything he wants. He can get it all done, but sometimes he chooses ordinary people like you and me. As reluctant as we are, he chooses us to serve him, and it is such an honor